woman in a hotel, so he immediately gets a disconnection warrant to shut those surrogates down. Peters is shocked to learn this can be done and questions the morality and legality behind it, worried about the software potentially falling into the wrong hands. Meanwhile, Miles rides his bike through the city as the cops chase after him on cars and Greer follows them on a helicopter. The bike allows Mike to pull off some crazy moves and go through narrow spaces to gain an advantage, but eventually he is cornered and crashes into an alley, allowing the police to immediately surround him. Miles suddenly pulls out a weapon and shoots at the officers, hitting them with a wave of electricity that makes the surrogates convulse as their eyes pop out. Then he shoots at the helicopter, so Greer quickly disconnects while the pilot is hit by the electricity, causing the helicopter to start spinning down. Miles quickly makes his way to a Dredd settlement, only for the helicopter to crash on it. At that moment Greer gets back into his surrogate and crashes into the Dredd zone as well. Thankfully he comes out with just a broken arm and immediately goes after Miles, but when the Dredds see there's a surrogate in their area they get angry and start chasing Greer too. As they all run through different sectors of the slums, Miles keeps trying to use his weapon again, but it isn't working. To gain the upper hand, Greer jumps and climbs over various structures, getting hit by a truck in the process. Since he can't feel pain he just keeps going until he finally manages to corner Miles and ask for the weapon. Miles gives him his bag but before Greer can open it, he suddenly gets shot. While Miles takes the bag back, a woman continues to shoot Greer and calls him an abomination, causing him to disconnect from his surrogate. At home, Greer is bleeding and tries to leave his room, only to pass out in the corridor. Luckily Maggie finds him and calls an ambulance. Sometime later, Miles wakes up and discovers the Prophet and his men in his house looking for the weapon. The Prophet wants to know where the weapon comes from, so Miles confesses he has no idea. An anonymous person contacts him through disposable phones and pays him to use the weapon, but that's all he knows. Soon news outlets announce that the Prophet sees the fallen helicopter as a personal attack on the Dredds and declares a revolution against the surrogate society. At the hospital, Greer also wakes up and learns from Andrew that he's been suspended. Furious, Greer breaks out of the hospital and meets with Peters, but as they walk he